Hi! Today in the wonderful world of algebra, we are going to add and subtract polynomials. So that'll actually be on the next board. We have to figure out what these polynomials are before we can do that. So a polynomial is a sum or difference of monomials. So remember, monomials are little one-term pieces that don't have any addition or subtraction in them. So if you put addition or subtraction in, you're moving into polynomials. So we have some different kinds of polynomials. We have binomials, which are just two pieces. Here I have 3x plus 5. Trinomials have three terms, so we have negative 7x squared plus 5x minus 6, right? Three parts. The degree is just the highest power that your polynomial has. So for instance, on this last one here, the negative 7x squared plus 5x minus 6, the degree is 2 because that's the highest power. And so degrees are great. They're really easy to figure out. Just find the biggest power. All right, so next we're going to look at adding and subtracting. The big key here is you can only add or subtract like terms. And so we're going to look at that. And this actually ends up being pretty nice, and hopefully you like it. So give me just a minute to change my board, and we'll get started on that. Okay, so adding. We'll deal with subtraction here in just a minute, but let's do some adding. All we're going to do, add like terms. And so I have some suggestions on how to make that work better for you, and they all are going to show up in this example that's currently hiding right behind me. So here's the first thing. Here's my problem. I have two sets of parentheses. They're just showing me that here's my first polynomial, here's my second one. Please notice that is an addition sign in between. Sometimes I think people get in a hurry and they don't pay much attention and they want to start multiplying these things. That's coming later, but that's definitely not this. This is addition, so be careful, pay attention. If you have an addition sign in between, it's addition. All right, so the first thing I notice is that this first polynomial has x cubed and then it has x. It does not have x squared. And that's okay, it doesn't have to have x squared, but this one does have x squared. So what I want to do is I want to line up the like terms so I can just add them together. So to do that, I'm going to fill in that missing spot with a 0x squared. We don't have any x squareds. I'm putting it there as a placeholder. Okay, so I still have my negative 3x cubed, but there's that 0x squared plus 5x plus 7. And then the easiest way I have found to do this is to take the second polynomial and just wrap it down underneath the first one. Okay, so you can see I brought it and I have 8x squared minus 2x minus 6, and I lined up all my like terms. That makes it really easy to do the addition because you just go right down the line and you add up the stuff that's the same. So negative 3x cubed, it doesn't have anything the same. You could put a 0x cubed here if you want, but you don't have to. So negative 3x cubed and nothing is negative 3x cubed. That part's done. 0 and 8 is 8, so I get 8. I still have x squared. 5 and negative 2 makes 3, so I have 3x. And 7 and minus 6 is 1. And there we go. That's it. That's all there is to addition. Be really careful with the positive and negative signs. And remember, as long as we're adding, we don't do anything to the exponents. Okay? So my next example that I'll put on the board here in just a second is going to be an example of subtraction. And again, I'm going to have some suggestions on how to make that a little bit easier for you. Here's a hint. It's going to end up looking a lot like this, but it is subtraction, so we're going to have to be just a little bit careful. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so for subtraction, I am going to recommend a couple of things. My goal here is to make your life just a little bit easier and to make your answers just a little bit righter, which should be a wonderful combination. First, change the problem to addition and change the signs in the second polynomial. So this goes back to how, way back in chapter 1, we learned how to add and subtract with positive and negative numbers. When we did subtraction, we could change it to an addition problem. That's basically what we're doing here. So here's my example. 5x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x minus 5. There's my first polynomial. Minus sign. Again, don't multiply these. That would be bad. 4x cubed minus 7x plus 6. So just like before, I really want to take this second polynomial and I want to wrap it down and write it underneath the first one so that I can combine my like terms. But this time, because of the subtraction, I'm going to change the problem a little bit. First, I'm going to do addition instead. I don't like subtraction. I'd much rather add. But since I want to add, I have to change all of these signs. So you'll notice when I brought it down, instead of a positive 4x cubed, I have a negative 4x cubed. Instead of a minus 7x, I have a plus 7x. And instead of a plus 6, I have a minus 6. Now you'll notice this one didn't have an x squared term. You could fill it in with a 0x squared if you want. Or you can just line them up with the appropriate pieces. So anyway, I go right down the line. 5 and negative 4 makes 1. Remember, you don't actually have to have the 1 there. You could just write x cubed and it would be the same thing. Negative 6 and 0 is negative 6, so I get negative 6x squared. 3 and 7 make 10, so plus 10x. Minus 5 and minus 6 make minus 11. And there you go. That's adding and subtracting polynomials. That's all there is to it. I know you can do this. Just be really, really careful, especially with those negative signs. They have a real tendency to cause problems, so please be careful. All right, have a great day.